We've brought the sun with us all the way from Dubai to beautiful Capannelle Racecourse in the centre of Rome. We're here today because it's the annual Dubai Day, which means that Dubai-based companies are sponsoring the races on today's card. There's something for everybody, from the Group 1 Premio Presidente della Repubblica to 2 Arabian races, which are sponsored by His Highness Sheikh Hamdan bin Rashid Al Maktoum Shadwell stud, and which are being staged here in Italy for only the second time. Plenty of history to be made today. Let's rewind a couple of days, because the weekend had actually started with a press conference held at the racecourse, at which the Shadwell team explained more about the role they play in racing worldwide, and also reintroduced their stallion roster to the Italian public. Later on, there was a visit to the UAE ambassador to Italy, attended by the select bunch of VIPs who had made the journey from Dubai for what would be the 10th annual Dubai Day. On the racecourse, the Dubai-like weather attracted a bigger than usual crowd to Capannelle for what is one of their most historic meetings of the season. Those arriving before the first were greeted with a warm and very tall welcome. But the bands and entertainment weren't the only ones to make their presence felt. Of course, it wouldn't be a proper Dubai Day without the support of Capannelle Racecourse. As ever, they've been extremely generous with their giveaways, which have proved really popular with the general public. They're also sponsoring one of the races on today's 9 race card, and they've supported this meeting right since its inception. I've also learnt my first word of Italian. This is a capellino. Dubai companies lent their name to 7 of the 9 races, with His Highness Sheikh Hamdan Shadwell stud first to get the ball rolling, sponsoring the opening 1200-metre conditions event. It was won in impressive style by Gaysas on just his second start. Shadwell is keen to promote both thoroughbred and Arabian racing the world over, and brought a large team from both the UK and Dubai to ensure that everything went smoothly. Italy remains very much part of the operation's international strategy, despite the many challenges facing racing here.
I think we're in our 10th year of helping to support this day. Obviously, Italian racing and breeding is going through a little bit of a difficult patch at the moment, but we don't see that that's any cause not to keep supporting horse racing in Italy. So today we've got a mixed card, some Arabian racing, some thoroughbred racing, and it's a good opportunity for us because we have clients in Italy that we only probably get to see once a year. So it gives us an opportunity to see them. And it's just great that we can get the Shadwell name out there and be seen to be helping to support racing in lots of different countries, whether it's a well-established racing industry or whether it's one that's developing or going through a little bit of a difficult time like they are here.
And of course, Shadwell don't just sponsor races here. You also stand a stallion here, Mujahid, who's been leading Italian stallion 2013 and 2012. So he's been a real star.
Yeah, he's been great. He did stand in the UK for a while. He came over here several years ago, and we've just been really lucky with him. Speaking to breeders today, the thing that they like about him is that he doesn't stamp his stock too much. So if you have a middle distance mare, he'll help produce a good middle distance horse. If you have a sprinting mare, he'll help develop that sprinting side as well. Rarely a week goes past that he doesn't have winners in Italy. And as you say, he was leading Italian-based sire in 2012, again in 2013, and he's currently leading the standings for Italy in 2014 as well. So we couldn't be more delighted. He's done really, really well for us.
The UAE Embassy were also on hand to both give out and receive trophies, and we caught up with His Excellency Abdulaziz Al Shamsi, UAE ambassador to Italy, who was keen to promote the links between the two countries.
It gives us the opportunity to strengthen the link between Italy and United Arab Emirates and Dubai, every Emirates and Abu Dhabi, as UAE in all. And I thank the people who care and who prepare for this, and also the thanks going to His Highness Sheikh Hamdan bin Rashid Al Maktoum, who's doing the best for the UAE.
The first of the day's 2 purebred Arabian races was up next, and the delights of Capannelle seemed to come as a bit of a shock to some of the participants, who were unusually wound up during the preliminaries. The race itself was named after the Maktoum Challenge winner No Risk Al Mori, and went by without a hitch, with Jalabi PSA earning the distinction of being just the 3rd Arabian winner ever at this track, which is still a newcomer to the world of purebred racing, having staged its first such events just 12 months ago.
We are very glad that the Capannelle Racecourse has approved the idea of running an Arabian race in this beautiful gathering last year and this year, and we are committed to do more, inshallah, next year, hopefully to promote the Arabian racing, and also in line with Sheikh Hamdan bin Rashid Al Maktoum's vision of promoting the Arabian horses throughout Europe.
Mirza also explained a bit more about the concept of Dubai Day, which has evolved over the years.
This is the 10th year. It is growing from strength to strength. The number of dignitaries that have attended today, the number of people, the number of horses that are increasing every year. This is the time where winter and summer actually meet together. And this is the date where the President Cup is going to run in a matter of half an hour from now. We are very glad to have that, and we will stick to it.
So more Dubai days to come here at Capannelle?
Previously, we used to have 2 days on Rome during the year, but we culminated the whole thing in 1 day, and we are still open for any suggestions.
Next up, it was the big one, with a field of 10 lining up for the GBI Racing sponsored Group 1. It's run over 2,000 metres, and in the past has been won by such stars as Rakti, Paolini and Falbrau. The Group 1 Premio Presidente della Repubblica is up next. It's a race with a really rich history, and jockey Mirko De Muro has won this race 4 times. If he wins it again today, he'll equal the record, which has stood right since 1959, so quite a lot at stake for Mirko. The favourite for this race is number 1, Biz the Nurse, and he's a really interesting horse. He's the winner of last year's Derby Italiano, a Group 2. He's actually only been beaten twice in his career, the most recent of those that came on heavy ground here at the end of last season. This is his first run of the year, but he's trained by Stefano Botti, who's won the last 2 runnings of this, and jockey Andrea Razzini has come here specially to take the ride, so I think he's going to be very hard to catch. The field also featured 2 of Biz the Nurse's stablemates, Orpello and Vedalago, the latter defending the crown he won 12 months ago. It wasn't to be for either Mirko or Biz the Nurse. The favourite went down fighting, however, fending off all comers on his side of the track, only to be undone by the late burst of Refuse to Bobbin. The outsider arrived in the nick of time under George Perovic to collect a huge win for trainer Attilio Giorgi. It was also the biggest win of jockey Perovic's career, although his celebrations look somewhat muted compared with those of owner Paola Maria Gaetana, who also bred the 4-year-old. Congratulations on winning such a great race. Are you surprised?
Yes, a little bit. I want to be very clean. We know we have a good horse, but we cannot believe that could be so good. And I am very proud of the mother of this horse, that is Super Bobina, that was one of the best horses we ever had. She's dead last year. So for us, it's a tribute to her. And I thank her because she makes a really good job.
All that excitement detracted from the realisation that this year's Della Repubblica was an all-Italian affair. Raiders from overseas having been put off by the ongoing financial problems in Italian racing. which means some prize money from 2 seasons ago is still outstanding. Paolo Benedetti, representing sponsors GBI, helped to clarify the issue.
The management of the horse racing department is at the moment under Ministry of Agriculture, and it suffers from the financial difficulties, something called spending review, which means we pay less later or something like that. Everything which is connected with the public administration. This is not very good, is not appreciated by anyone, including the Pattern Races Committee, and they had a last warning, unfortunately, that if also the Italian owner are not paying for back 2012, not only Godolphin and the German owners, which had been paid for 2012, but everyone has to be paid by September. If not, there will not be connection with pattern races, Group 1, Group 2, Group 3, from 1st of January next year. And obviously something we really try not to happen.
Emirates Airline, well known for their huge backing of racing worldwide, sponsored the next race, which provided jockey Andrea Azzini for some consolation for his Group 1 near miss. Or not.
Yeah, I was big gutted that I got beat. It was a shame because I only got beat on the line, you know. But the horse ran a good race and I was very pleased, and listen, that's past.
Yeah.
We've got to look forward now. I've had a winner, so it's all good. I've got 2 more rides, so forget about the past and look forward to the next 2 races.
Now based full-time in the UK, Andrea, who went on to ride a double, is another who is concerned about the ongoing problems facing racing in his homeland.
Obviously sad, you know, because as you can see, we've got probably the best racetracks in Europe, you know, Milan and Rome, the beautiful tracks, so it's a shame, you know, the way it's going, but hopefully we'll pick up.
A different perspective on the ongoing crisis was provided by bloodstock agent Federico Barberini, who is positive that a solution can be found before Italy loses European pattern status next year. What's the market like at the moment?
Well, in Italy it's pretty weak at the moment. What we lack is confidence, really. There's a strong passion about horses here still. So the minute we have any positive news about the future of horse racing, I will get calls from clients that want to buy horses immediately, you know, and still the last bridge up sales we had plenty of Italian buyers. The problem is the lack of confidence in the future, and so people will not be prepared to spend enough money because they are scared of what's going to happen.
And do you see a way ahead? Do you think there will be a positive solution?
Well, you know, unfortunately for us, we are in the hand of the politics, and in Italy politics is something that takes a lot of time to get sorted, especially in this particular period. So I don't know, and nobody knows that how long it's going to take. As I said, there's a strong tradition here, there's a strong passion for horse racing. So in time, things will be right. How long it's going to take, I don't know, but as soon as they will make some structural changes to the system that will allow the betting to increase, and the prize money to go up and be sure every year, sure in the amount sure to be paid, then as soon as that's going to happen, the horse racing is going to pick up big time.
But regarding next year's pattern, probably a bit too late for that?
Well, I think that because it's in the Italian nature, if they don't threaten us, we never move. So I think probably what happened is that they asked us to do something that we haven't done. And they said, if you're not going to do that, we are going to go something else. We didn't do it, and they had to take the measure. But I'm pretty confident that the decision will be actually, changed at the end of the year, because we will finally find ourselves at the last minute, and we'll probably, take the necessary measures to revert the situation.
Meanwhile, Capannelle Racecourse had been waiting patiently for their turn in the spotlight. which came on race 7 of the elongated card. It was won by Concan, ridden by apprentice F. Dettori. And no, he's no relation to Frankie, or so I'm told. After the race, we caught up with a man who knows a thing or two about good jockeys. And good horses, come to that. Capannelle Racecourse have sponsored the 7th race on today's card here at Capannelle, and we've caught up with a familiar face of Drew Basalvaratnam, who's a regular visitor to Italy because you're here on a scouting mission.
Actually, yes. I come here every year. I've been looking at horses, trying to get a few bargains, Laura, you know. And I've been coming here since Moshti won the Italian Derby. That's about 15 years ago.
And have you seen anything this time that we might see racing up the hill in the yellow colours soon?
I've seen one or two, so it depends on the prices, you know, what sort of price.
But you've done really well with Italian bloodstock down the years, haven't you? Of course, United Colour being the last one.
Yeah, I bought him 2 years ago. I mean, he just won a few races and a Group 3 here, you know, which doesn't say much because there's no foreign competition actually, you know. So.
And it's great to see Shadwell sponsoring here again. I mean, it's amazing. They seem to get everywhere with their sponsorship. They really got a good profile out there.
That's right. Since Sheikh Ahmed won the Derby here, he started sponsoring. We also sponsor in England, Ireland. So it's quite a big sponsorship we have here.
For Arabian fans, it was definitely a case of leaving the best until last, as 15 of them lined up for the final Shadwell-sponsored event, named in honour of the great Majani himself. The winner, Sibillini, might not be quite as good as the Triple Kahela Classic winner, but she certainly made her connections proud and returns home to Sardinia €12,000 richer than when she started out. That's it for Dubai Day, Capannelle 2014. We'll see you next year.